This episode of What's in the Box is brought to you by He killed his father because of a curse on his people. Betraying his family in search of the truth. Awakening the evil behind the curse. Now they must race to save their people or die trying.
Hey there, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Yeah, you right there, Mr. Postman. Hey, Mr. Postman, look at me. Is there a package just waiting for me? Where's my box? Where's my box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
All right, welcome to another episode of What's in the Box. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera. Sorry for that little snafu. It was like a glitch. It was like What's in the Box twice. But anyway, as you noticed that we're getting ready, it's the countdown to Forbidden. So as of this episode, it'll be 9 days away for the Forbidden launch on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, a live launch. And so, if you don't know what I'm talking about, here it is. This is for a promo for Forbidden. So we're up to the third issue. This issue is number 2. We started with 0. It's 32 pages, plus we have the graphic novel volume 1, plus a variant cover by Psycho, a.k.a. John Coates, plus an homage cover by me. Plus, there is a Tragedy and Forbidden crossover promo. So Tragedy by Phillip Russert. He's on chapter 2. He's launching November 1st as well. So we decided to tag team and team up. And so I illustrated this print that's going to be available if I hit a 75 backer goal. And same thing for Phillip on his campaign. And basically, it incorporates both our characters. Desiree from Forbidden and Tragedy from Tragedy, plus a villain from his book and a villain from my book. And this print, it's going to be a digital print if we get to 75 backers. So hit the links below. Visit Tragedy on Kickstarter. Sign up on Kickstarter for Tragedy and sign up for Forbidden on either Indiegogo or Kickstarter, whichever is your preference, below in the link. So with that said, we're going to get on to the show. So this week we're talking about Wake Comics. And this is called Liar. And it's by Rodesco. And we had the creator on our show, and it was a really good show. It's actually a fast trending show currently on our channel. Great story. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. So here's the first page, and again, it's by Dwayne Doherty, and you have to check out the episode. It's a very heartfelt. His story is relatable. It's a story overcoming challenges, and this book is loosely based on his experience as a child. So, Liar starts off, there's someone reading. He says, "You're really here. You decided to show up. You truly are not a liar." And so, the guy's reading the book. What I'm about to tell you was something only you and I will ever know. It comes from a truly sad and depressing story. Are you ready? You can go back after this. It will change your life forever. Don't lie to me now. Bad things happen to people who lie. Do you understand? Good. So, right there, who's he talking to? Because that look on his face, it's very demonic, and it got me kind of scared. I'm like, turn on the lights, look under the bed, open up the closet, because this guy's kind of spooky, right? So The Dwayne Doherty wrote it. Art by Steve Kennedy. So Steve Kennedy is at Sleek Design 87, and Dwayne Doherty is Rodesco. Rydescho. Okay, so we go on the second page. There's a young little girl. Her name is Maggie, and she's on a bus. On a bus going home. And it says, our story begins with Maggie coming home from school one day. After the death of her brother, the family was never the same. It was a constant nightmare to be there. Today, that nightmare would end. It would never be the same again. So, she's already had a tragic episode, lost her sibling, and now she's going home. To what, may I ask? To blood underneath the door. So Maggie walks into the kitchen to investigate the flickering light. She was quiet, not knowing what was going on. What Maggie saw next terrified her to the core. Again, a little girl lost her brother. She walks in the house, flickering lights, and there's blood. And there it is, standing over the body of her mother. Right? And then, of course, these old homes, that's what frustrated me about the last home that I lived in. It was a 100-year-old house, and you can't sneak up on anybody because the floors creak. And it was like, it sucked. It's good because if there was a burglar, you can hear them, but it sucked because if you're trying to hide from the burglar, he can hear you. What are you going to do? Anyway, so here it is, very tragic scene, and it's like, Maggie, is that you? And look at that face. Look at that face. He's got blood on him, and he says, come here, let me put you next to your mommy. Come on, don't run. Make it easy for your daddy. Come on, sweetheart. So here's her father chasing her, wanting to do the same that he's just done to his wife, to his daughter. She runs. She hides in the room. He's banging on the door. Maggie, open this door now and do it right effing now. Do you hear me? I can't imagine the fear and the confusion, the anxiety, the feeling of helplessness, wishing you were someplace else but there. When I did open this door, when I opened this door, you are dead, Maggie. And you little dead. So it's all a bad dream, and that's what she's telling herself. It's all a bad dream. It's all a bad dream. She's trying to convince herself that, if she closes her eyes, goes to sleep, and wakes up, it'll go away. And when I seen this scene, it took me back to when I was a kid. I must have been in the 4th grade, and I stood home from school because I wasn't feeling well. We lived in an apartment building. And it was just me in the apartment, and there was a knock on the door. Now, my mom says never open the door for anybody because if it's family, they have the keys. So I look out in the peephole and I see some strange people and I don't answer. Then I walk into the living room and there's somebody at the window trying to climb in. So I go and hide. And I hid in the closet and I buried myself underneath all of my mom's shoes. They got into the apartment. They tore the place up. They thought they heard something, which was me. They couldn't find me because I really hid really well, and they left. I was so afraid to get out, I didn't leave until I heard my mom come home. So I can imagine, I can relate to that feeling of helplessness. Like you don't know what's waiting for you outside the room. So she comes out, she sees the blood. Now she hears her mom calling for her. Maggie, mom needs you. How scary is that? You just saw the woman lying there. What? Now she's confused, right? And says, Maggie, I need you. I'm scared. Maggie, please help me, sweetheart. Daddy hurt me bad. I need you. So she goes slowly. And the way they set up the mood keeps you in anticipation. And then she looks in, Mommy, are you okay? And there's this demon standing over 2 bodies. Her mom and her dad. Mommy doesn't like it when I have to call you more than once. And there's this demon with the words liars carved in his body. And Maggie's eyes and face just started to pour with blood, as if he was controlling her, which is exactly what he was doing. And he's telling her to walk to the streets. And she had to do exactly what he said because she's powerless. And she slowly walked into the road with no control of her own. And Maggie lost her life, just like that. Her lights were out, cast out that day. That little girl met the same fate as her parents that night. And there he goes, standing over the bodies, and he's chomping away. He's eating. And there's a light in the attic. And so it ends with there are stories that it roams the earth, killing those that are most vulnerable. Nobody knows why. But it always comes back to Maggie's home one day. So I'm going to leave it with this. It says, I don't want to give you all the dialogue, but it says, you can't escape me. There is no point in trying. You're a liar. The end. So, and there it is. Simplistic, one word. It reminded me of a kid, when you don't, when like your parents promised you something and they don't deliver, and you shout out liar, because you don't know any other word to say. And then here is some art, I guess concept art and concept designs for the layouts of the pages. And it's pretty cool. So what I liked about this, number one, is that it hits home. It's very powerful, scary. It does hit home. And Dwayne did his thing with writing this, and it comes from a really it comes from the core. And if you want to know more about that, check out the episode we just did with him. You're gonna walk away appreciating that interview. Very, very passionate, honest, dedicated young man, and who's just making his way through life, and he wants to be a comic artist and leave something behind for his kids. So here's some also original art. Check it out. I'm gonna leave the link in the summary below. If you want to get a copy of this and support this young talent, I'll send you the information. Again, his Instagram page is also in the summary below. I truly enjoyed this. This was another episode of What's in the Box. Definitely scary. Definitely reminds me, in the end, there's a part that it reminds me of certain films, and you'll see why when you get yourself a copy, and you should go ahead and get yourself a copy and support him. With that said, if you want to have your book featured on What's in the Box, all you have to do is send it to contact@catchthecraze.com. Contact@catchthecraze.com. That's with a D-A, not with a T-H-E. And just leave me a summary of what you're sending me and why. And I'll put you in the roster, and we'll get you going. So that's another episode of What's in the Box. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. If you like this episode, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Help us get to be monetized. That's what we're trying to get to, and we need your help to do so. And don't forget, join me November 1st, live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for our launch party for Forbidden Part 2 on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. And if you want to have fun before Halloween, join us the 27th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as the Craze and the Raging Cajuns team up to have a Halloween party. We're going to be dressed up, drinking, and having fun live right here on Catch the Craze and on the Raging channel. And I'll also leave the link below. So this is What's in the Box. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera. Thank you. Have a great day.
What's in the box?